Hello everyone, my name is John. Today I'll tell you how to set up an integration to transfer new leads from Webflow to HubSpot. This is necessary to automatically transfer new leads from Webflow to other systems. For example, in HubSpot you can create new deals and easily interact with them in the future. Now let's move on to the setup. First, you need to create a new connection. Next, select the data source system, Webflow. Now, select the action, Get Form Data. At this stage you need to connect your Webflow account to the ApiX-Drive service. In this window you must specify the login and password of your Webflow personal account. At this stage we provide ApiX-Drive access to your workspace Webflow. When the connected login appears in the list of active accounts, select it and click Continue. At this stage, we select the website from which we will receive new leads. At this stage you can set up a data filter. In this case there is no need for this, so we also click Continue. At this point you should see data for one of your Webflow leads. If there is no data at this stage, you need to fill out a form on the Webflow website. To do this, go to your Webflow personal account. When the form on the site is completed, we return to the ApiX-Drive system and continue configuration. When the Webflow lead is displayed at this stage, click Continue. At this point, setting up the Webflow data source has been successfully completed. Now you need to move on to setting up the data destination. Select the system HubSpot. Next, select an action. In this case, I want to create new transactions. At this stage you need to connect your HubSpot account to the ApiX-Drive system. In this window you must specify the login and password for your HubSpot personal account. At this stage, you need to grant ApiX-Drive access to work with your HubSpot account. After that, close the window and reload the page. When the connected account appears in the list of active accounts, select it and click Continue. At this point, you see HubSpot fields for creating new deals. You can assign variables from Webflow to these fields. To do this, click in the field and select a variable from the drop-down list. Please note that you can use not only variables, but also enter data manually. To go to the next line, press Enter. When all required fields are filled in, click Continue. At this point, you see an example of the data that will be sent to HubSpot in the form of new deals with each new lead from Webflow. If you are not satisfied with something, click Edit and you will go back a step. In order to check the correctness of the settings, click Send Test Data to HubSpot. After successful sending, go to HubSpot and check the result. If you are satisfied with everything, return to the ApiX-Drive system and continue setting up. At this point, setting up HubSpot as a data destination has been successfully completed. Now you need to enable auto-update and select an update interval, for example, once every 5 minutes. That's all. I wish you successful integration settings and good luck.